Hey, what's up, gang? It is Matt Modi with OddsJam. And today's video will just be a preview of the Chiefs-Bengals game. Obviously, we got, hopefully, another incredible game on our hands. I doubt it'll be as good as the Bills-Chiefs one, but hoping it can be close or at least as good as the game these two teams played earlier this year back in December when the Bengals came out victorious in the ridiculous 200-plus, 3-touchdown game from Jamar Chase. And less talked about, but the Bengals actually shut the Chiefs out in the second half. No touchdowns and only just a field goal. So the Chiefs had 28 points at halftime and only scored 3 points the rest of the way, while the Bengals just kept coming back with Jamar Chase. So looking at the game, obviously the Chiefs are heavy favorites, Bengals heavy underdogs. There isn't really any value on the money line. With the money line this big, or this high, I would only ever take it for the underdog, but there really isn't any value there. I mean, OddsJam Perfect Line has them at plus 280, and that's all you're getting at the other books. So before really getting into it, I just wanted to highlight the importance of signing up for every sportsbook you can in your state. So I'm located in Virginia, as you can see here. And these are all the sports books available in Virginia. The BookMaker I like to keep as kind of the same reason we have the OddsJam Perfect Line, just another source of information. A sharp book that sets the line, but all these other ones are all legal in Virginia. The more options you have, the higher chance you have of finding a plus EV play. So it's incredibly important. So make sure that you look at the description, the links in the description, and sign up everywhere you can. Going through the spread. So when I looked at this earlier in the week, the Bengals, they were 7.5 point underdogs. My prediction was that number would creep down to 6.5 under a touchdown. So far, that hasn't happened. It has gone from 7.5 to 7, but still not quite down past 7. It's staying right there. But Sharp Books Bookmaker has them exactly at 7. Plus 100 each way if you take out the VIG. Same thing with the OddsJam Perfect Line, essentially plus 100 if you take out the VIG. Incredibly tight market width here, which I really like for the OddsJam Perfect Line. So the Bengals plus 7 is, I'm just looking at the other ones. Yeah, that excuse me, that's going to end up being a play for me. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my tracker. Looks like Bengals plus 7, that's plus 100 on BetMGM. I'm going to go ahead and make that a $75 play, as you can see on the screenshot here. I love that. I think the Bengals are going to keep this within a touchdown. I just trust Joe Burrow. I trust that offense. I don't have faith in the Chiefs defense, even though they did. They had a strong end to the regular season, aside from this Bengals game, but they just got torched by the Bills. Obviously, Josh Allen's incredible, but I think Burrow is just as incredible. It really just depends if that offensive line can hold up. But first play is going to be this Bengals plus 7. I love the tight market with here. Minus 105, minus 106. We're getting that a little bit plus EV at the Bengals, getting them plus 100. So all they got to do, lose by less than a touchdown. So going to the total points, I ended up not touching this in my early lines video. I didn't really see any value there. Looks like the total is being set at 54.5 by BookMaker, and same by the OddsJam Perfect Line. There isn't any value on the under, and it looks like there really isn't any value on the over at that total either. The only way you really get some value is if you sell a couple points. So if you sell half a point, you get a little bit of value, but not a ton. Same thing if you sell the full point down to 53.5. You get that one. You get 5 at 53. So I'm not really seeing any value on the total, and that makes sense, right? I mean, 54.5 is a lot. It was a lot for the Bills-Chiefs game. Obviously, it went over by a lot, but you can't necessarily count on that all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and no-touch this over. So right now, my only play is the Bengals plus 7 at plus 100 on BetMGM. So now let's just look through some other props here before I go to the plus EV page. First half money line, looks like there is a little bit of value on the Bengals, but not within market width. First half point spread, I believe this was a play earlier, and it looks like there's still some value there. So the OddsJam Perfect Line has the Bengals plus 4.5 at minus 117. and plus 103 the other way. On BetMGM, we are getting that at plus 4.5. So let's look at the vig on that one. So it's minus 117 plus 103. So it looks like the no vig perfect line on that is minus 109. We're getting that at minus 105. So that is a positive EV play. So I'm going to go ahead and put another 75 on that. Make that one of my plays. I think that's a good play. I mean, obviously, I'm trusting the Bengals to keep it close. The full game, I can also see them keeping it close in the first half. And if there is a scenario in which the Chiefs cover, my guess is that they would start to pull away in the second half. But I could definitely see this Cincinnati Bengals offense going toe to toe with the Chiefs, at least keeping it close. So let's see. First half team total, no real value there. There's obviously no lines for it. First half total points. Last time I checked this, the value was towards the under. Looks like there is still some value towards the under. About 9 points here, 2 points here, 1 point here, and then if you sell a couple points the other way, it's towards the over. So I'm not really seeing a play here on the first half total, which makes sense because I didn't really like a play on the total points. So nothing changing with the first half. I did, however, have a play on the team total. So unfortunately, the OddsJam perfect line doesn't show up here, but I was able to get that information. And so the over, the OddsJam perfect line has priced at minus 116. The under is priced at minus 101. So that is 17 cents of market width. So if you take out the vig on that, that puts the over priced at minus 106 for the OddsJam perfect line. On, again, of course, BetMGM, we're getting that at plus 100. So I think that's a great bet. That's going to be another $75 bet for me, as you can see on the screen here. Sorry, just confirming my numbers. Yeah, I think that's a great bet. I mean, I don't necessarily have faith in the over hitting, so that's why I'm not touching that. And I checked, there's no value on the Chiefs. So the Chiefs team total was priced at 30.5, but there's no plus EV there. So, which makes sense because, if I was going to sit out on the total, it makes sense that there wouldn't be a play on both of the teams' team totals. But since I do think that the Bengals keep this close, that's why I love their team total as a play. So that's going to be my third one so far, all riding on the Bengals. Now let's go through some player props before checking out the plus EV page. So the first thing I wanted to check out is attempts. I loved the Joe Burrow passing attempts against the Titans. I loved the Josh Allen passing attempts against the Chiefs, of course, obviously. Both of those hit, but I did look at this, and unfortunately there isn't really a play here. If you take the vig out, so minus 106, minus 125, it is within market width, about 31 cents. But if you take the vig out, minus 106, minus 125, that would actually be priced at plus 107, so that wouldn't beat closing line. So not a play there. I also wanted to check out completions. Unfortunately, same thing. No play there. If you take the vig out, no plus EV. And obviously, there's no stats yet for Mahomes, so might need to wait and check. Follow me on Twitter. Check to see if there might be some plays there. Team total I hit on. I also wanted to check. Where is it? Rushing yards. So if you tuned into the live stream that Randall and I did on Sunday, one of our plays was the Mahomes over rushing yards. I love that in big games. He always tends to run more in big games. Obviously, AFC Championship would qualify. But I did check, and unfortunately, there is no value on his over. So they price it at OddsJam Perfect Line has it at 29.5. There's actually more value towards the under, but I'm not confident in that. If anything, I would guess the over, but unfortunately, that's not a play here. I also wanted to check out Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which does seem to be some value. So this is priced at pretty much even money if you take the vig out. Minus 116, minus 114. It's going to be like minus 101 and plus 101, something like that. As 106, 114. So exactly minus 100, plus 100. So there is some value on the Clyde over 37.5 rushing yards. The risk with that is, he's not priced here, but Darrell Williams coming back. So I'm going to make this a smaller play. This will be a $40 play. Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 37.5 rushing yards, 40 on Caesars. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I generally like to check the plus EV page for any player props that I don't think of, but there is stuff, some that I do want to check off the top of my head, but nothing there. So now let's go to the plus EV page. Let's just only look at football and see if there's anything. So, funny enough, this Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a play. According to the plus EV page, I should have put about 30 on it. I put 40, so close enough. Scrolling down, looks like, no, that's for the Rams game. So, of course, the Cincinnati first half spread. This was a bigger play for me. I put 75 on it. This should have been about a $20 play, but that's okay for these videos. I do a fixed cost. Next one is, so the Joe Burrow under passing attempts did have some value. Like I said, if I had to predict, if I didn't know anything about the lines, if I had to predict, I would actually think this would go over. I could just see this being a game where he passes 50 times, but the sharp play isn't there, so I'm going to sit that one out. And then the last one, that's it. Okay, so only going to be 4 plays for me today for this Chiefs-Bengals game. I'll recap it real quick. So I took Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 37.5 rushing yards. I took the Bengals plus 7 at plus 100. I took the Bengals first half spread plus 4.5 at minus 105 on BetMGM. And I took the Bengals team total over 23.5. And just to give a official prediction, I do think the Chiefs win. Obviously, I think the Bengals cover. And for the main line, if I had to guess, I would say over, but there wasn't any value there, so didn't put any money on it. And that's going to be it. So excited for this game. I think it's going to be a good one. Hoping we have just as many fireworks as the Chiefs-Bills game. And that's all I got for you. So other than that, again, make sure that you sign up for all the sports books that you have available in your state. Mention this at the top, but I mean, being in Virginia, I sign up everywhere I can, and that's where I get as many positive EV plays as possible. So it's incredibly important. But that's all I got for you. So make sure to follow me on Twitter at my handle below, where I post a bunch of plays. It's actually been really hot on Twitter recently. Been less hot on the live stream, so hopefully can pick that up soon. Feel free to email me, Matthew at OddsJam.com, with any questions. You can also email contact@OddsJam.com. I'm on both of those. And other than that, just rate, review, subscribe, follow the YouTube channel, all that to help us grow. All right, happy betting, happy watching, and good luck.